Okay, here I am. This is Wednesday's lesson, and I realize in some of these I'm saying yesterday and tomorrow, and those don't always work for the days you're doing it. So ignore those days. I'll try to remember to use the lesson number. Okay, so in lesson 7.6, we're doing pretty much the same thing we did in 7.2 and 7.3, but in those two lessons, we used a whole number and a fraction. Today we're doing fraction, fraction. So it gets even simpler. So here is my first problem. My first problem is 2 8. I think, I can't read it, I have to put my glasses on. My first problem is 3 8 times 8 9. 3 8 times 8 9. Now I don't have to worry about these guys not speaking the same language because they're both fractions. They're both speaking fraction. And so everything is okay. I don't have to make sure the denominators are the same because it's multiplication. I multiply straight across. And you know how much I like an arrow, and so sometimes those arrows in there are a scaffold that helps me remember to multiply straight across. So 3 times 8 is 24. 8 times 9 is 72. Now we're starting to get into some larger and larger numbers. I know this number, I know this fraction can be simplified. And I know that because the number in the ones column is an even number. If it's an even number, then I know they're both divisible by 2. I just know it. And so I might recognize this right away, what the fractions are, what the factors are. I might not. I might need to figure it out. One of the ways that I like to do it is I like to 24 times 72. I'm going to rewrite it. It helps if you write it big. Remember that if I see a fraction, I see a number one way, I can make it work in different ways for me as long as I keep the value the same. Value can't change, but what it looks like can change. And so I'm pretty good at my multiplication tables now. I might say, oh, I recognize that this is 8 times 3. 8 times 3 is 24. And then I go, oh, wait, I know this. 8 times 9 is 72. 8 times 9 is 72. That's great. Once I have these two 8s, I don't need them anymore. They become a 1, they're out. Now my answer is what's left over? 3 9. But I still see, I know that 3 and 9 have common factors. And so I'm going to, let's write it down here so we can see it nice and big. 3 9 is the same as 3 times 1 over 3 times 3. Once I see those 3's together, they go away, and I'm left with my answer of 1/3. It's not that difficult. It's a bunch of steps, and if I left it here, technically that's a good answer. This is my best answer. This is my first answer. This is my simplified answer. And you're going to have to get used to hearing the simplified answer. So let's try another one. All right, let's see. 4 9 times 4 5. 4 9 times 4 5. What's the thing that I like about multiplying fractions? Don't have to worry about denominators being the same. Put in a couple of arrows, multiply straight across. I might get out my multiplication chart. That's fine. 4 times 4, 16. 9 times 5, 45. In this case, both of these numbers are not even, and so I know that it's not an even number. Let's see. I can say 16/45. I might start at the bottom and think of all of the factors that lead me to 45. There's not that many, are there? There is 9 times 5. Is there any way that I can multiply 9 to get to 16? There's not. Is there any way I can multiply 5 by anything to get to 16? There's not. And so in this case, by looking at the larger number first, I see there is no way to simplify it. This is my correct answer and my final answer. Okay, is it sinking in? Let's try one more, okay? This problem will be 2/3 times 7/8 times 4/5. Let's do that. 7/8 times 4/5. Okay? Multiply straight across. 28. Multiply straight across. 40. 28/40. It's my first answer, probably not my final answer. 28/40. I'm going to take it apart. I'm going to start with my larger one. And I'm going to say, well, I know that's 4 times 10. Right? 4 times 10 is 40. Can I multiply 4 by something to get to 28? I can. I can multiply 4 times 7 to get to 28. Once I have these 4s, they cancel each other out, and I'm left with my answer, 7/10. And that's my final answer. 7 is a prime number. There's nothing that I can multiply these guys. There's no factor that they have in common. So that's pretty much it, you guys. Now, some of your older siblings might tell you about cross simplification. You might hear about the butterfly method. You might hear about all kinds of shortcuts. And someday you'll be completely ready for those. Right now, I want you to understand the fundamentals before we jump into any shortcuts. All right, 7.6. Have a good day. Bye.